What is going on, my friends? It is your boy. It is the pilot of this airplane this morning, 10:02 a.m. Eastern Time, my friends. Live. We are live as we are every morning, my friends, on Wake Up Legendary. Hope you had a great weekend. And if you didn't, it's about to be a great week. I can promise you that. Starting with this morning, we've got Cory, the bearded businessman. And let me tell you something. This guy is on fire for life. He's on fire for his business. He's on fire for online marketing. Let's hear his story. Cory, welcome to the show, brother.
Hey, good morning, man. Thanks for having me.
You're very welcome, dude. Thanks for coming on. Where are you calling in from?
West Tennessee.
Man, I love Tennessee. Gatlinburg, Pigeon Forge, those are those are touristy, but I love the mountains in that area. Man, Tennessee's a great area. So we've got a lot to talk about. You are a business owner already. You have a beard brand, and might I say, quite a lovely beard.
Hey,
Okay.
man, I've had one for 8 years now. I had to learn how to take care of it, and that's where the business idea spurred. I'm like, well, if I can use these products to take care of my beard, why can't I use them to take care of other people? So here we are, 8 years later. Been
Mhm.
self-employed for 4 years now and loving it.
Well, I had a beard, quite a, an impressive beard at one time. I really grew it out. It was quite a moment in my life. I may get back there one day. Nothing like having a full mane coming right out of the old cheekbones. Uh,
Yeah.
Gotta love it. So, what led you to Legendary? What were you looking for? Do you feel like you found it? Give us a little bit of the backstory and how you got here.
Okay, so in my own business, I have my own affiliate program. So I actually understood how the relationship between business and affiliate worked. And as I was issuing out payouts at the end of each month, I realized I'm like, wow, these guys are really doing a great job for my company. And, I would love to be able to have, an additional stream of revenue by doing something like this, because all I need to do is find a company that I believe in, that I'm passionate about, that I would be willing to promote and talk about online. And hey, now I've got another stream of income to my business, and it's mostly passive. So, M. Walcott, as most of you guys know who she is, she popped up on my feed, the old mindless scroll, and there she was. And I was like, well, that seems interesting. I wonder what she's promoting. And sure enough, it was you guys. So I got in on the $7 challenge, and to say I was blown away by the value I got for $7 was pretty impressive. And this is coming from a guy who has spent thousands and thousands on education over the last 8 years. So for $7, I was like, wow, this is amazing. I can only imagine a complete beginner getting into something like this, not somebody with any business experience, but just a total beginner getting into it and hearing things like value ladders and sales funnels and automation and sales and presentation and copywriting. Wow, blown away.
Yeah, yeah, cool, man. That's and you didn't stop there. I mean, something changed, a light went off. You said, "Hey, I'm gonna invest further in my education here at Legendary. I'm kind of gonna go all in on this business model."
100%.
And um, and it sounds like you're happy with that decision, and I couldn't be more happy to hear that. And so, what was it? What was it like? Take us through kind of those. Tell us when you got started. Help us understand the timeline a little bit more and a little bit more of the context. Let's fill in some of the holes for people here, because people listen to this show and they have a couple of questions. Is it real? Are these people real? Is this scripted? Obviously, I jumped on here about a minute ago, and were you a little surprised that I kind of just hopped in the backstage and I was just kind of like, all right, ready to rock and roll?
Yeah, I genuinely was. I was there like 15, 20 minutes in the backstage. I'm like, where are they at? We got 10 minutes. And then, oh, there's Joanne. Hi, Joe. Oh, yeah, you're going to say hi to Dave for about 1 minute before you go live. I'm like, well, that's great. I've been on StreamYard many, many times with my friends who content create for beard stuff. And so I was familiar with it, and I'm ready to rock and roll with it. But as far as a timeline of how this happened, it was about mid-April, and I started watching M. Walcott and Sarah Thompson and Kelly Roberts and all the stay-at-home moms and the teachers and all the people started popping up on my feed, and I was like, wow, this seems cool. I love digital education. I believe honestly in the last 8 years, digital education is what has allowed me to separate myself as an entrepreneur from a hobbyist, if that makes sense. So there's a lot of guys that I know who get into this men's grooming thing, and they're more hobbyists. They're not entrepreneurs because they lack the knowledge of actually how to build a brand, grow and scale a company to actually be something that can pay the bills. And it's not just something they do on the side. So, immediately after seeing they were promoting educational stuff, I was like, well, like you said, I decided to go all in. And the quote, how you do anything is how you do everything. And I'm like, you know what? If I'm doing this, I'm doing it. If I'm going to build a business, I'm going all in. So I don't want to halfway do anything. I don't want to timidly, skirt the line, so to speak. I want to get in there. I want to get my hands dirty and see what this is all about. And it has paid out, as the title says, and cashing in. It's real, guys. It's very real.
Yeah. So you're making some money and you're starting to sort of see where you can take this, and it's having you rethink a little bit about the direction that you want to take your entire entrepreneurial career. Not to say that bearding, beard grooming, beard products, beard business isn't still important to you, but are you starting or have you kind of picked up on, wow, there is a lot of profit and potential and leverage and opportunity and ease of entering into a market when I'm promoting and or selling my own digital products versus physical products? And could you talk to us a little bit for those who don't really understand that difference, the difference in the profit margins, the difference in the supply chain, the difference in shipping, manufacturing, on and on and on and on and on. Talk, because I break that down in the first couple of days of the 15-day challenge, but you're somebody who can actually speak from experience. Can you talk about the difference between a physical product business versus a digital business where your products are either electronic or digital?
Yeah, so we only have an hour here, right? Because I could literally just scratch off a spot and talk about this for the next hour. But no, I'll try to condense it and keep it short and sweet for you guys. For anybody that's on the verge of maybe potentially investing in the blueprints, furthering your education, it costs me well over $100,000 a year just to keep the doors of my business open. And that's not even paying myself. Okay. That's just the business. That's not me. I don't get to live.
Virtual doors open, right? I mean, because still your beard business selling physical products is online, right?
Yes. Yep. And we supply, barbershops, gift shops, boutiques. We set up at craft shows. So we do have a physical presence as well. But just the fact that, I get to pay myself about 30 to 40% of all revenue that I generate. So, for instance, if I did $200,000 in sales through my business, which, by the way, is not easy to do, to build a brand that has the amount of trust and online presence to generate $200,000 in sales, my wife and I could live off of about a $70,000 to $80,000 salary there, which is what most people make. My brother delivers chips for Frito-Lay, and he makes that much. But I've put 8 years of my life getting a brand from zero on my apartment kitchen table to a warehouse. Okay. And we're just now getting where he is by dropping chips off on a shelf. Hey, there's the first hat throw. I told my friends.
That's a two-hatter.
I'm trying to get at least 5. I was like, I want to drop some value.
I mean, I got 2 hats ready. I want to get to that 5 real quick. I mean, that's funny because, your brother who did no investment into the Frito-Lay's brand business is not a stock. He may be a stockholder, shareholder, but I mean, he's not an owner of the company.
Sure.
He's making as much right on day one, dropping off chips, as you are making after 8 years. And this is entrepreneurship, folks. But I mean, this is also entrepreneurship with physical products. Keep going.
Yeah, absolutely. So tens of thousands of hours of educational courses and learning and website building and emails and graphics and product photography and social media and influencers and live streams and craft shows. And I think you get the picture here, guys. Like, there are so many layers. So if you want to get into business, I just want to say
more on that.
Digital business is 197%. I don't know why, but that just feels right. It is so much easier. The barrier of entry, the ability to just get off into the races, it's just unbelievable. And like Dave said, you know, the amount of profit that you can do from just having some videos out there. They can be circulating while you're sleeping. You can have your system set up so that you're having automated emails go out on your behalf. And, you know, you wake up in the morning and you've got money in your bank account, and you don't have to go bottle something up or label it or put it in an envelope or take it to the post office or shipping labels. It's just, you know, I've learned so much in such a short span of time now. I'm telling all of my business owner friends, a lot of the guys in the men's grooming industry, like, hey man, you know, you need to set up a sales funnel. You need email automation. You know, you need to learn how to create and sell your own digital products. Maybe some like how to take care of your beard guides, you know, the do's and don'ts of having the best beard possible, whatever it is, but just expand on what you're already doing. Have some digital presence and some physical presence.
Yeah. Well, I want to zero in on just the old way of building a business, the slow way of building a business. And again, let's give a big old fat disclaimer, because we're throwing around money and easy and fast and all this.
Sure.
The majority of people who buy any how-to products online make no money at all. And that's because now that's the disclaimer, period.
Yep.
I believe that that's because, like gym memberships, you buy the membership and think that you're entitled to lose weight. And that's just not the case, right?
Yeah.
This is the school of hard knocks. This is a school of entrepreneurship. Legendary is a leadership factory. And you buying a product, you buying a course does not entitle you to a single penny, not a single dime. Okay. Now, with that being said, the old sort of slow way of building a business is exactly how I see some of my friends. I mean, I see people that I know building their business. For example, a couple of my friends have, you know, and we're not close enough for them to ask me any, you know, I mean, they don't want my opinion, which is sort of ironic, right? But they're going out, spending their Saturday and Sundays at hot Florida farmers markets, slanging their various wares and sauces and
That's right.
things one bottle at a time.
Yes, sir.
And or you know, I mean, you know, some people are, you know, you mentioned various trade shows and stuff, flea markets. I mean, just, you know, this, my friends, is the old way of doing things. This is the slow way of doing things. If you are thinking about getting into a business right now, and in what is required to sell the product of that business is to go sit in a lawn chair at a trade show or at a flea market or at a farmer's market or whatever,
Yes,
you
sir.
better love that. You better love it, because you ain't getting rich.
100%. So if you guys can see this calendar here, every single one of these days here is another craft show that we're attending every weekend. Starting on this coming weekend, we'll be in Ohio. So we're driving 8 hours. We're setting up. We'll be there 8 hours a day. Hi, do you know what a beard oil is? This is what it is. This is what it does. Okay, thank you. Hey, how you doing? You ever heard of a beard oil? And you do it for 8 hours a day, 3 days in a row. You break down. We come home. We go to Kentucky. We come home, we go back to Tennessee. We come home, we go back to Ohio. We're all over the place. It's taking gas money, travel time, setting up, sales pitch over and over and over. While I just want to put this into perspective, okay? So my last 9-to-5 job, and I'm so thankful to God that I can say that. I've been my own boss for 4 years now. Super freeing. Not being super rich, but actually being able to work on my own schedule. But in 4 months' time, guys, and this is a disclaimer. It's not for everybody. I've got people who do better than me. I've got people who do worse than me. This is only my personal experience. But I have been able to make as much income through digital marketing in 4 months as my last 9 to 5 job paid me, working 160 hours a month. And I work maybe an hour, hour and a half a day, just uploading little videos on my phone. It's truly, I actually just recently made a reel about this, and Oliver Anthony, that hit song Rich Men North of Richmond, I'm sure everybody's probably heard it by this point, but he has a line in there and he says, living in the new world with an old soul. And I got this idea. I said, if you're living in a new world and you don't learn some new world skills, you're going to make old world money. And we live in a new world. If you don't tap into the digital economy, you're going to get left behind. You're going to live that 9 to 5 life.
Yeah, you don't have to go to the farmer's market and barter for avocados and strawberries anymore. I mean, this is not for, whatever, 1323. We're in 2023. You know what I mean? And so many of us really are nickel and diming ourselves, stepping over dollars to pick up dimes, and really spending. What are we doing while we're at those trade shows, while we're at those farmers markets? Well, the majority of the time, because it's so uncomfortable to sort of feel like the kiosk salesperson in the mall. You know how when you're walking in the mall and there's the kiosk guy and you're just trying to avoid making eye contact.
Right.
The majority of the people at those when I go, because I actually enjoy going to farmers markets and trade shows. That is part of the St. Petersburg, Florida lifestyle. It's part of the Florida lifestyle. It's probably part of every state and cities, you support local business and all that. You go out there and you donate money just because you feel sorry for the poor bastards out there sitting, but I mean, it's sad because you see a lot of times they're sitting back on their phones. Just, what are they doing? They're on their phones anyways.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking I got to go out to this farmer's market to sell my sauces and spices. And then I'm going to be on my phone anyways, numbing out because it's so painful to be here. And it sort of feels like a trap. And so many people aren't exposed to this information, aren't lucky enough, aren't blessed enough. I sort of feel like if you're been exposed to this information and you're sitting here, you're sort of almost a chosen one in 2023. Like somebody, God, your higher power, the universe, whatever you want to believe, thought enough of you to actually awaken, right? Amen. Thought enough of you to actually, present this information and something that you've probably been praying for. And a lot of times the story that's often told in, sermons and stuff is that maybe the help doesn't come in the way initially that you thought it was going to come, but maybe this is for some of you who are hustling and bustling and sort of doing some of that demanding physical labor. I had a guy I had a new garage put down, that epoxy garage floor that looks real beautiful and it's real durable. Well, I mean, the guy who did it just recently bought the business. Wonderful guy, very nice guy. But he bought the business and he was doing the work along with 2 other guys. Let me tell you something. They had to grind up all of the paint and concrete that was existing on this big ass garage floor. And I'm going to tell you something. It was like a dust hurricane in there. I literally felt bad for them. I was like, like that would be something that I would want to do once in a lifetime, if that. I mean, they're out there with gas masks, but of course that's uncomfortable. So they're taking it off. It's just, folks, the business that we decide to get into is as or more important than the job that we initially picked, before we learned about entrepreneurship. Do you agree? Do you agree with that? And what would you add? What comes up for you as I'm ranting about our picker, our decision maker, and sort of how society has pointed us in some of the direction of these physical labor intensive, a hard day's work equals a hard, good, honest pay. And it's like, that's great. We're all honest. We're all good people, but we're broke at the same time.
100%. And that's the reason why that song, again, that Oliver Anthony song, it went so viral, because the message resonates with people. People are tired of waking up and working to be tired of waking up working. Okay.
Yeah.
And just making ends meet isn't, what people are looking. People don't move to America to make ends meet. You know what I mean? They move here to get ahead.
Yeah.
And we know that we're the greatest country on earth. And so, working harder, not smarter, is not a smart idea. Okay. We live in a technological digital world. I say it just like this. There's a lot of people who only feel comfortable carrying cash because they just don't trust that, this card is somehow going to make me lose money. Well, now we live in a world where you can pay for your groceries by tapping your phone on a screen or swiping your watch. We went from the age of, Henry Ford's, the horse and wagon went to a car. The car went to, a plane. The plane went to a spaceship, and things are progressing. And if, again, you don't want to get left behind in the changing of the tide, so to speak, we live in a digital world. And if you don't learn some digital skills, you're going to inevitably struggle, unless you're one of the fortunate ones that just has an absolutely incredible paying job and you live in a great part of town where your mortgage or whatever isn't sky high. You've picked everything just right. But again, your decision making, guys, you get one life to live on this side, and what you do with the decisions you make change everything. What business do you want to get into? Where do you want to work? Who are you going to associate with? All of these decisions really do shape the experience we have in this life, and they're the most important things. So really give a lot of consideration before you either start your own business or pick up another job to make ends meet or whatever it is. This could be the opportunity you're looking for.
Mark says, I'm tired of pulling from future paychecks just to live in the present. This is my last 9 to ? Right? Because it's never really just a 9 to 5. Yeah, that's a great comment. You said something about groceries and paying with your phone. Well, I just ordered $600 and something worth of groceries yesterday, and
yes, we did it
had
again.
it delivered to my house. I mean, not only did I pay with my palm, but I had it delivered. And you know what? I gave the guy a nice tip. He walked it upstairs. I mean, it's like, and so many people are taking advantage of the gig economy and getting themselves Uber Eats or as in this case it was Ship Shopper, and it's like, I mean, you can pick up some extra bucks by going and shopping for people, but why not get into a better business to where you can afford, instead of doing shopping for people, you can afford to have somebody shop for you, right? That's the that's the angle that we all need to be looking at this gig economy. There are so many different people out here. There's 8 billion people on the planet. And don't get it twisted. I appreciate hard labor workers. I was one of them. I'm a blue collar guy. I still, my dadgum text message notifications were going off here on my laptop a few moments ago. And I'm like, I mean, that's been doing that for a long time. And just literally 10 minutes ago, I go, God, how the hell do I turn that off? You know what I mean? I'm like searching around as you're talking down in my little system preferences, trying to figure out how in the hell to turn that off. I'm not a tech genius, people. I mean, seriously, I got things going on my phone to my computer, trying to connect my calendars and Apple and this and that. And it's like my Google. And trust me, I'm not a technical genius, but I looked at the landscape 10 years ago when I was getting clean. It wasn't because I woke up one day because I was a genius and I'm like, I really think I'm going to tap into this digital economy. No, I had just gotten friggin' clean. I was on the streets for 10 years and I got clean, and I was working with my father, working construction in 2008 and 9. And I said, this sucks. This sucks, man. This is hot. I'm broke. I've never worked this hard and I'm broke. And so I said, hey, let me get on that old computer you got that's slower than molasses, got more viruses on it than a pandemic. I don't know how that happened, right? But let me get on that thing and see if I can poke around a little bit, right? Find something, figure something out. And lo and behold, here, 13 years later, I'm living the laptop lifestyle. Truly, I'm on a laptop right now. Can't even figure out how to turn the notifications off. But it's like, we can either look at the landscape right now and say, there's 8 billion people. Do I want to join them all doing Uber Eats? Do I want to join them all driving people around late into the night? That's the new age taxi cab driver. Do I want to shop for people? Because the truth of the matter is, and you alluded to this a second ago, you really can't survive nowadays without a side hustle. A normal, regular paying job just doesn't do it.
Sure.
So it's like, you can either look out there and say, I can join the masses or I can join the classes. The masses are looking at Uber Eats, Shop Shipper, all this kind of stuff and saying, oh, wow, I can pick up some extra. I can pick up $20 or $40 extra a day going and doing that. Or you can sit back and think, how can I pick up an extra $1,000 a day?
Sure.
I can afford to have somebody shop for me, so I can sit back at home and create content and do marketing while my groceries. How much time could you save each week if you weren't running around? You can even send your laundry out nowadays, folks. There's an app called Hamper, Hampr, Hamper, that you just set your dirty clothes out on the thing. They'll come and pick them up and go and wash them for you. How much time I'm serious. How much time can you save if you didn't have to go to the grocery store? How much time could you save if you could afford a chef to come to your house and cook for you? These are all some of the benefits that I've been able to enjoy. Sure. Not because I'm smart, not because I'm better than anybody, not because I'm any different, but because I just looked at the landscape and I said, do I want to be part of the masses, or do I want to be one of those, mean old rich people that everybody hates? They only hate them because they ain't them, baby.
You got my wife laughing over here too. But it's so true, guys. It's so true. I was just talking to a guy the other day, and one of my buddies, he is a manager at a pet store, and he wears that badge proudly because he makes $2 more per hour than everyone else. So that's $80 a week, $320 more a month, and then it gets taxed, right? So whoopee, you put in 160 hours a month to make an extra $320, or you could have a digital product that's been built for you, sell it one time and make $1,000. If it just one time in a month, you know what I mean? It's wild to think of the world that we live in. This thing has lit a fire in me. A lot of my buddies who have been following my beard care business journey over the last 8 years, it's like 4 months ago, they said, man, it's just like you've lost the spark for your brand. And I'm like, well, I have, I've gotten a new spark because I'm a businessman. I notice a good opportunity when I see one. Right. And I'm like, this is incredible, guys. The barrier of entry, the amount of know-how, you don't need to know how. You're shown how. Like, seriously, you don't need to know how.
I love that. You don't need to know how, you're shown how.
Yeah, I mean, I'm no offense to anybody, right? But when I can see people that are 50, 60 plus, and the words that they're putting on their screen don't even fit, right? The video quality is just not there. It's not like they're in some studio with epic lighting and the best camera. I mean, they're just, and they're making $20,000-$30,000 a month, guys. Like, people don't make that in a year at some jobs, and they're doing it in their spare time and they're loving life. And my mom actually kind of wants to get into this. My dad saw what I was doing and was like, son, I'm 60 years old. I need an additional stream of revenue. Right. What can I do? You're making thousands of dollars now and just making videos on your phone. And yeah, it literally, all right, I want to explain it this way for anybody listening. When you see people making these videos and your first thought is, that sounds too good to be true. That there's no way there's no way. Well, I'm here to tell you it's real, and it's real on my end to the point where I don't even believe what's happening to me. And it's actually happening. Like, money is going into my bank account while I sleep. Okay, my first high ticket.
Without picking up the phone, right? Without me, I mean, well, you are picking up the phone a little bit. We'll talk about that. But I mean, without going anywhere, you could be in your dadgum underwear. Continue. I interrupted. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
so my first high ticket sale that I ever made, okay, I was traveling from Tennessee to Ohio to visit my mom over my 33rd birthday weekend back in July, and I stopped at a gas station. My wife and I had to use the restroom. I use the restroom, I get a notification. I go out into the gas station, I check my email. You just made a high ticket sale for $1,000. Okay, that was like that's when everything just clicked. I'm like, this is it. This is it. This is the thing. This is what I've been looking for. This is what my personality was built for. Okay, I've got strong ADHD vibes. Okay, if we could say it that way. And for me, having a creative outlet where I can not only communicate, talk to people at scale, you can do group coaching, you can feed off of other people's energy in this business, and you can make new videos every single day, just constantly allowing your brain to spin free where you don't have to do the same thing over and over. Like when I was at Honda, I checked the transmission part 625 times a day. Click. And you would do that for 8 hours.
Right.
And I'm just telling you guys, this digital economy is something you need to strongly consider tapping into. So
Yeah. And my friends, it's not all about affiliate marketing and go through the challenge. It's like somebody just said in the comments, let me find this one. It really is this simple, Brian. So I just need to go through the challenge and take action, correct?
What a novel idea. Yes.
Holy shit. There it goes.
And finish.
Yeah.
Just
I
commit
mean,
to yourself. Like,
yeah. And the challenge will explain everything to you. You'll have an opportunity if you want to, if you want to more accountability, you want more coaching, you want more education. We have a program called the Blueprints. You can take it. You don't have to take it. It's not mandatory. A community. Yeah. I mean, you should have seen the feedback that has happened. Just go look at our Facebook group about people ranting and raving about Decade in a Day that happened on Friday. And you get that every other Friday. It's like a lot of people out there are paying $1,000 or $2,000 for an all-day workshop. And it's like you get that every day of the week because we do 2 coaching calls. Plus you get Decade in a Day on Friday. Plus the 2 coaching calls are still happening. Plus the core curriculum. Plus the community, plus for a dadgum extra $2,000, you can come down and hang out in a 20,000 square foot mansion in Orlando, Florida for an all weekend mastermind. We'll feed you, we'll teach you, we'll answer your dadgum questions. We'll sit right there in the freaking room with you for an entire way. It's not, or you can go to college. You can go pull 50 or 100 grand out in a student loan, which is the only debt that's that you can't claim in a bankruptcy, and take 4 years to do it, and maybe get a job, and maybe whatever the hell it is you're learning in college is going to actually be relevant in 4 years.
Sure.
Think 4 years ago, that was before the pandemic. Think 4 years ago, Cory, and think about, are we even on the same planet anymore? Doesn't feel like it to me.
Exactly. I always talk about college education, and this is no offense to anybody who went to college. I didn't. Kind of a similar story to Dave. I just kind of got into something and kept going. I was just dumb enough to keep going, right? And it went from my apartment kitchen table into a small building in my garage, into a warehouse, and you just keep going and the thing snowballs. But when I look at college, I've got friends of mine that are paying $60,000 to $100,000 for their tuition, 2, 4, 6, 8 years of their life, traveling to and from a hall. Like my buddy, his name is Zach, and he's in college right now for sports broadcasting. And Zach has to take algebra, world history, and Spanish class. So he's literally not only spending his hard-earned money, probably a really good chance that he's going to graduate with debt, but he's also having to actually be in a lecture hall learning something that has absolutely nothing to do with his career choice. Why does he need to know algebra to do sports broadcasting? You don't need to know the angle at which LeBron James had to jump to do a dunk in a game, okay? Like, Why are you sitting there spending your time and your money learning something irrelevant when digital education, guys, 10, 20, 30, 40 times cheaper, and you're learning something that is infinitely scalable? Infinitely scalable. You're going to be terrible. It's like the first day going into a gym. You walk in, you look at the landscape. There's great big guys. There's little itty bitty guys like me. There's the guys and the girls and the old and the young. And you're like, okay, there's a lot of people here. A lot of people are doing this thing. It must be oversaturated. Well, it's not. Okay. But you look around and you're looking at the equipment and you're like, what is all of this? How do you even use 90% of this equipment? But after you've done it and you've been in there and you've got to talk to people, you start networking. Hey, man, I noticed you use that machine. Can you show me how? Bam. Now you're the expert on the machine, and the new guy walks in and you're showing him how to use it. It doesn't take long. When you're shown exactly step by step how to do things, guys, you can get a business up and running in no time. It's unbelievable. It really is.
I want to. Real Mama says, I have been scammed before, so I'm skeptical of everything now, but I'm tired of struggling. I'm going to college now, but need the income sooner. There's a lot in this comment. Okay. First of all, define scammed. You signed up for something and did nothing with. We got to be honest with ourselves. The reason why I'm giving you a little carefrontation on this comment is because a lot of times you let me say it like this. You will not be successful in any entrepreneurial venture if you have a victim mindset. Let me say that again. You will not be successful in any business. Doesn't matter here. We don't care. Don't buy our training. Don't go through our courses.
Sure.
We don't care. I mean, we'll do $60 million in education, course, and coaching sales this year. Your $7, your $2,500 is not going to change our lives. Might change yours, but it ain't going to change. We don't need it.
Yes,
we don't need it.
That is exactly what I say to every single person that I talk to. If you get off this call with me and you invest in this education, I'm going to get paid one time. Okay. You can get paid hundreds of thousands of times. This is not about me. It is about you. It's about your future. Guys, this is not self-centered. This is literally a service of love. Like, we're like, all right, look, there's millions and millions and millions of people working 9 to 5, struggling, missing time with their kids, not having enough income at the end of the month to do things they want to do, enjoy. And we're giving you an opportunity. Look, let's just say you did invest in the blueprints. Okay. Dave's very transparent about that. It's $2,500. Is that a lot of money? Yeah. For a lot of people, that's a lot of money. Okay. But I'll tell you this, if you invest that money a year from now, your life isn't going to be in shambles because you made a horrible, horrible investment. Yeah. It could be the total opposite. A year from now, if you're willing to put in an hour and a half of your day, you could be making $15,000 to $20,000, $30,000 a month. You might be making $5,000. You might be making $1,000, but $1,000 a month is still $12,000 a year. You just like 5x your money on your initial investment. It's just,
and you'll make nothing if you do nothing.
Right.
You'll make even if you buy this training, even if you buy our blueprints, even if you come to our mastermind and you do nothing, you will make nothing.
Yep.
And even if you buy our blueprints and you come to our training and you take a bunch of action and it's all the wrong stuff. You don't listen, you don't follow instructions, you could still make nothing. But you know what? You'll never know unless you do something. And I always say to people, you should learn these transferable skills because these are not skills that teach you how to promote Legendary or teach you how to only be an affiliate marketer. These are transferable skills, my friends, that we teach here at Legendary that are now beginning to be taught in college.
Sure.
Beginning. I actually have colleges here in my hometown reaching out to me. Now, I don't have time to go and do it right now because I really didn't do this to want to go be a professor at a college. You want to learn my skills? You want to learn what I know? You got to take my course. I'm not coming to your college. What are you kidding? You joking?
Investment wrapped up in creating.
But I'm telling you, dude, I have colleges that are reaching out to me, especially because we're an Inc. 5000 company. We're the 30th fastest privately held growing education company in America over the last year. Woo! Think about that. Think about that. So of
Yes.
course colleges are so real mamas. I also saw your other comment about being a single mother of 4. I know life's hard. It's some days you wake up, you feel on top of the world. A lot of days you wake up, you feel like the world's on top of you. But the biggest thing, the biggest scam you will ever endure, that you will ever face, is getting involved in something and then not giving it your all. You mostly will scam yourself.
Yes.
You mostly scam yourself. College is another thing. I'm not going to make a, I think going to college, it's fine, whatever. Do whatever you feel is right for you, right? But the truth is that we are getting scammed more by society and things that are legal and we perceive like college. Everybody tells us to go to college. We grow up our whole lives. They say, what college you going to? What do you want to be when you grow up? And it's just ingrained and embedded in our heads. Then we're 18 years old. Our brains are not fully developed. Scientifically, your brain does not develop until you're about 24 or 25 years old. It happens later for guys, unfortunately.
That's
However,
right.
when we are 18 years old, what's the 2 things that happen? Guaranteed. The 2 things that will put you in financial shambles for sometimes the rest of your life. There's 2 things. 1 is college. 2 are credit card applications.
There you go.
You take on usually a loan that is and they do not tell you this, my friends, it is the only debt that is unforgivable in a bankruptcy, which means that if you have $100,000 in debt, you can go and file bankruptcy, and if it's successful, get everything forgiven except for that student loan debt. You do not ever get told this. The second thing that you get hit with right when you're 18, when we all know, the government knows, the doctors know, everybody knows this. Your brain is not fully developed. It's predatory. I don't even know why 18 is the legal age, because your brain is not fully developed.
Right.
You also get those credit cards, and to an 18-year-old, a credit card, my friend, is free money. It's free money to an 18-year-old. So what happens? You're going to college, not making any money. You need the credit cards. This is how society creates employees, not just employees, factory workers.
Yeah.
People who are, because employees can be, look, you can be entrepreneurial, meaning that we've got a lot of entrepreneurial people who work inside of Legendary. They're free thinkers. They're critical thinkers. We pay them well. They work from home. They have a lot of the lifestyle. But most of us, my friends, were primed, were groomed the same way. When I say groomed, it really brings up a lot of different thoughts, because pedophiles groom children.
Yes, sir.
The same way that the government grooms human beings inside of our society, thank you, to become factory workers. And you know what? We get into a job and the boss says, I don't want to hear your ideas. Do your job.
Come on, man.
Now all of a sudden we stop thinking critically. We stop thinking for ourselves. We stop coming up with ideas. So then 20 years later, you've been working a job and you see Dave Sharpe on the internet. You're like, who's this asshole, right? Talking all this stuff, right? And it's hard to get your brain moving, critically thinking. But you got to spray a little creative WD-40 up in there. You got to start throwing the hat, yipping and yelling, ranting and raving, getting on the damn camera and start talking the talk, man. You got to start thinking for yourself. You got to start promoting stuff. You got to start learning how to sell. You got to start learning how to market. And this is a great place to do it. So what's it been like for you to, and what sort of tips would you have for people about getting on camera? This is the other big thing that people have an issue with. The first one is investing in themselves, actually getting started. They act like $7 is like a $7 million investment. God forbid $2,500, right? Even though we don't have a problem selling them, still it's a common question. But the other one is, okay, I'm going through the training, on and on. That's another thing, is actually going through the training that you bought.
Sure.
But what about getting on video? What was that like for you? Why do you think people need to get on video? Because I already know that you think this just from talking to you, versus trying to do this without getting on video. Like, talk about video a little bit for us.
Sure, sure. So first off, I just want to put because I've been holding this thought. If how many of you guys out there have seen the movie The Matrix, right? With Neo and Morpheus, right? I literally feel like I'm Neo, and when I got into the legendary program, like I was being taken out of the Matrix. And here's Dave. He said, "Do you want to take the red pill and see how deep this rabbit hole goes, or the blue pill and stay exactly where you're at?" Right? And I made that choice. I want to see how deep this rabbit hole goes. And you guys remember the scene where he's standing in like purgatory and just whoosh, all this information starts flying at him, and he's got weapons and he's got armor and he's got all this stuff, and he can just boop, hit download, bam. He's got this knowledge now, and he goes back in the Matrix and he realizes like, oh, none of this is real. I can put my finger through the wall. You know, I mean, I don't think you're going to put your finger through the wall, but the point is, he realized, all right, this world, everything I'm looking at, the system, the society, this isn't the way that it actually is supposed to be. There's more. There's so much more. And then you're walking around as a red-pilled individual, and you go to Walmart and someone's checking out your grocery and you feel sorry for them on the inside. You're like, if you only knew, there is so much more that you have potential for. You could literally be building a legacy right now, and you're boop, boop. Man, but I wanted to get that out there for everybody here. And now about video. I'm on video right now. So I've been in business for 8 years. Okay. I sell beard oils. I sell beard products, right? People are not, all right, this is going to blow your mind. All right. People are not actually purchasing the product. You know what they're buying? They're buying me. They're buying me. And so the way that I present myself in my brand, the transparency, the honesty, the integrity, those are the things that people are buying into. So being on camera, putting yourself out there, letting people know who you are, what your values are, it's going to repel some people. That's a good thing. That's good. You want your audience listening to you because they're not buying a product. They're buying you, and you just so happen to have a product. What are they doing? They want to support you. They want to invest in you because you're investing in them. It is the law of reciprocity. They call it the reciprocity norm in psychology. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. You put yourself on camera. You be vulnerable. You let people know what you're going through, the successes that you're seeing, and they want to get a part of the pie. They want to support you. So again, I believe that I love you guys in the comment section. If I could, I'd just do like a great big group hug right now from all the love.
They're on fire right now. You're on fire, damn it. I mean, you're Matrix, red pilling us. I mean, this is if your weekend sucked. I tried to tell you your Monday ain't gonna suck. Okay.
It's Monday, man. Monday is another day to do better. Let's go. I love Monday.
It ain't Friday fun day. It ain't Sunday fun day. It's Monday fun day, people. If you don't love Mondays, you're in the wrong business because Mondays are just another. Thank you. Mondays every day. Look, I got a guy named Sam Crowley, I think is his name, old friend of mine. He wrote a book called Every Day is Saturday, but the story is what's the most powerful. His kid kept coming in to him every day of the week and being like, is it Saturday yet? And he's like, no, right? No, daddy's got to work. Daddy's got to go. Daddy's got to travel. Daddy this, daddy that, daddy's got to go. Right. So he wanted to make every day Saturday. And that was his goal. He's got a whole story and a whole talk about it. Every day is Saturday. And I think that is such a powerful concept because if you're really, living for Fridays, which is, I think there's even songs about that, or living for the weekends, right?
Yeah, listen
Weekend warriors, all that kind of stuff. It's like, look, that's only 2 days. There's 5 other days of the week. I mean, break that down. And what's the percentage of that you are giving away to somebody else, to something else, driving somewhere else, spending time with people that you don't like, doing things that you don't like, going nowhere, all for nothing, all in at the end of the month, there's more month than there is money. It's like, it's one of the most frustrating things. And that is why when you solve the problem of money, your life gets better. Everything gets better.
Yep.
Everything gets better. And I know that they say money doesn't buy happiness, but I promise you, friends, it does. Yeah, I said it. Yeah, I said it. It ain't. Yeah, I said it. I said it. I'm the guy who's gonna say it, and I don't even give a shit about money. I'm not even a materialistic guy. But you know what I like?
Freedom.
I like to have my groceries delivered.
Yes.
I like to have my groceries delivered. I like to have my chef come and cook at my house.
Absolutely.
I like to live in a nice house. I like to take my kids out on the boat on Mondays and Saturdays.
And so would every other person in this room if they were really honest with themselves.
That's
and they weren't just saying, "Oh, you don't need money to be happy. Money can't buy happiness." Well, guess what? It can afford you a lot of stress. It can take a lot of stress off your plate so that you can be happy. It's not about being materialistic, guys. This is about freedom. This is about taking control of your life.
Right.
Okay. And I'm loving this. Man, can we have a 2-hour show? Is that cool? Like, let's go.
Damn near at the top of the hour. We're both fired up. I mean,
you get two entrepreneurs that have tasted freedom, and guys, it's like I want to take everything that's in my mind and do that Matrix thing where I can just boop, and like get it to you. I want you to get it. You do not. I repeat, you do not have to spend the next 40 years of your life, 40 hours a week to get 40% of your pay when you retire. That is a mirage. It's a gimmick. It's a trick. Okay. You can snap out of it. And it all starts right here. Do you notice something about me and Dave right now? We're both just electrified and excited. We wake up every day excited about the opportunity to do what we love and live the life that we love.
Yeah.
You can't do this when you're miserable, depressed, in a toxic workplace with complaining people all around you. Oh, man.
Yeah.
You know, when I used to be at a factory, we'd sit down on the floor checking parts and, well, I only make $26 an hour. And the coordinator up there, look at him. You could see him up in his stupid little office up there. He makes six figures a year and gets a free Honda car every time they release one. And I'm sitting there in my mind, because again, you got to cultivate this thing, guys. You got to put in what you want to get out. And I'm looking at these guys like, why are you complaining about the coordinator and not learning how to be the coordinator?
Yeah.
What good is it going to do you to sit here and complain about it? Do something. Take action, guys. If anybody, seriously, and this is a shameless plug because I'm all over the screen down here, but if you need anything, you want to talk to somebody, I've got pretty much all day, every day, because, hey, guess what? I'm my own boss. I make my own schedule. It's kind of cool. I want you to be able to do it too. But if you need someone to talk to, DM me. Message me. That's been a really, really powerful aspect of me succeeding online. Is someone says learn or interested or whatever the little trigger word is I say on my video. And then I say, hey, I'm going to shoot you a DM. I copy paste a message. And then I send about a 15-second voice note. Hey, what's going on? This is Cory, the bearded business guy. I just want to let you know I'm a real guy. I'm not AI. I'm actually here to help you. So if you have any questions, reach out to me. I'll be willing to have a phone call with you. I'm not even going to charge you for it. I just want to get to know you, and I want to get to know what your goals are, and I want to help you. Okay, that's what
I'm a real guy. I'm not AI. That's
I'm a real guy. I'm not AI. You get a T-shirt that says that.
Right. I mean, nowadays it's nice, and you're not afraid to like pick up that phone and talk to people. I mean, you're having a lot of success because you're doing a lot of connecting with people, right? You're not just kind of posting videos, hoping that like that it just magically happens. You're asking people to reach out. You're responding to messages. You're sending voice audios. You'll get on the phone with somebody if you need to. I mean, you're willing to do all of those things, especially here at the beginning as you build your loyal audience. And this audience is going to support you for years to come if you invest in them at the beginning. And I'm telling you, friends, it's worth it to invest. I mean, look at what I'm doing though, 13 years into this, this business doing this. I'm getting on live every single morning. I don't give a damn about what, it's not, I'm not in a big studio trying to be, some broadcaster or whatever. I'm just getting on, talking with people, answering questions, throwing hats, talking shit, basically talking shop, right?
Yeah.
I mean, answering questions. It's exactly what I do at our mastermind events as well. It's exactly what I do with our team. It's just, you don't ever have to stop doing that. As a matter of fact, I think for those of you who are like, feeling lost or struggling, first of all, go through the education so you know what the hell you're doing, but then start getting out there and marketing and talking to people. You can do it all from your phone. You don't have to go to the farmer's market. You don't have to go to the flea market. You don't have to go down to wherever, you go for your job. You can just sit at home in your underwear.
Yeah.
You just do the work. And here's my point. Here's what I'm getting to is eventually, maybe not at first, it'll be a little uncomfortable. Just like getting on video is going to be a little bit uncomfortable when you get at first. Just like going to the gym. You talked about that earlier. Going to the gym at the first day, the first week, the first month. Yeah, you're going to be uncomfortable. You're fat. You're sore.
You don't know how anything works. You don't know who.
Right. You're like, right. People go to the gym. People don't go to the gym because they're fat. It's like, well, and they're awkward and uncomfortable, embarrassed. It's like, well, when do you think you're not? You got to go through that uncomfortable phase. But here's my point: is eventually, if you keep going to the gym and you eat right at home, you're going to lose weight. And you're going to feel more comfortable in your own skin. And then guess what? You're going to be up in that shirt off, shorty. You're bending over at the dumbbell rack trying to show that booty. The whole nine. You'll want everybody to look at you. You won't be able to get enough attention. And so the same thing goes with being on video. At first, yes, you're going to be the fat guy in the gym.
That's right.
We've all been the fat guy in the gym, okay? Yeah. We've all been there, okay? Or get rich enough where you can work out at home.
Right.
Okay? If you don't want to go to the gym and do it. But here's my point, is that video's the same way. You're going to be the fat guy at the gym at first. It's going to be uncomfortable. And eventually, you're going to love it. You're going to get good at it.
Yeah, discipline leads to delight, guys. You start off and it sucks, and then eventually you love waking up and doing it. Like I don't know if you can go back and highlight this, Dave, but Mark Blizzard, that comment he put up, I seriously can't afford not to pursue this. Mission accomplished. That's all that I came on here for today, was to get somebody out of however many of you guys are watching. Somebody somewhere. I just want the light to go off and like, look, this is it. This is the opportunity. This is the thing. This is it.
Kayla says I'm sitting at my.
So yeah, when
I'm the job watching you.
Yeah, when I'm packing orders, usually I go live on my phone and I hang out with the bearded guys who like to buy my beard stuff, and I just let them hang out with me. They're like, "Hey man, I'm at work, listening in the background. Hey, I'm in my office job, so I might not be able to talk." And I'm like, man. I want people to get ahead so bad. Guys, this is my life philosophy, okay? My dad is an absolutely incredible example to me. If you've ever heard about the Good Samaritan in the Bible, that's basically my dad personified. He like, for instance, he saves up all the change that he accumulates throughout the year. He buys Christmas presents, dresses up as Santa Claus, and goes to different people's homes that he knows, single moms, people who are struggling, and he gives the kids toys. When my dad gets off of his night shift job, he goes and sits down in hospice with people that are in their last days of life to give them company, to cook for them, to talk to them, to comfort them. He doesn't get paid for that. It's voluntary. And so I just get it on it, right? People are never going to remember me for my car, my house, how good my butter was, or whatever it is. They're going to be like, dude, that guy was infectious. He changed my perspective on life. And when I'm gone, my energy, my positivity, my encouragement is going to live on in every single person that I can get in front of. And on the internet, think about this, guys. People have videos. Look, I put up a video in my first month of doing this, and it has 850,000 views. What even? Okay? Like, I can help 850,000 people from making a 30-second video on my phone. What? Think about the impact. Like I just imagine this in my mind. I try to like create an image of the butterfly effect. This conversation that Dave and I had, and every single person that's tuned in for the last hour. Look at the energy that you're starting your Monday with. Your mindset is just light years different than anybody else that you're going to run into today. You're going to walk around like, man, I feel like I got to tap into some sort of secret something on a corner of the internet that nobody knows about. You know, you walk around society and you wonder, what do these people do? What's their job? Are they happy? Are they looking for something more? Like, come on. And you walk around knowing like, okay, I know the path. I know the path. Maybe they don't, but I do. So yeah, I just try to help people, man. Just help people.
Yeah.
The more you give, the more you will get. The Bible says, give and it shall be given, pressed down, shaken together, and overflowing shall men give into your bosom. That's a scripture, you know? So give value, give yourself, be vulnerable, teach people, help people. It will come back to you. You get what you give. It's the law of attraction.
Lance says, I'm buying the $7 package. Woohoo! Lance, don't do it. If you're guaranteed, don't part with that $7. If you're guaranteeing me that I can get a video education, how to make a video that has 850,000 views, that's outstanding. I want to call the emergency rescue team, 911, that has a SWAT team arrive. Lance, don't buy it, buddy. There's no guarantees in life.
There's no guarantee.
This isn't for you, man.
It's no guarantee, guys. Entrepreneurship, that is the exciting thing about entrepreneurship, is that it's not guaranteed. So when you wake up 2 weeks from now and you maybe you got $3,000 that you didn't have 2 weeks ago. That's the exciting part. That's why you just wake up and you're the little engine that could. You're trucking up the hill. Bam! Like money just hits your account and you're like, whoa, that would have never happened if I just didn't stay consistent.
Yeah.
Just do it.
The entrepreneurship, we're getting excited here because we've actually been doing this for long enough that we learn to love it. And we've gotten through the valley of despair that you go through at the beginning. But the biggest challenge that most people have is when they start a business, it sucks at the beginning.
Right.
It sucks at the beginning. Right. And that's where most people quit. Right.
Sure.
And most people who start this are also not able to get through that shitty early phase.
You got to push.
So you quit. You quit. And so, yeah, it's all about understanding that there is not just an investment of money, $7. I mean, come on, man, for $7, even if you don't buy our blueprints, which is our flagship program, for $7, it's just amazing that that's even a decision that you would second guess about investing into yourself, as if the $7 is a big deal to us. Like, what you're saying to the universe when you are like, I don't know if I should invest $7 to buy a course that clearly there's 800, I think you're the 807th guest on this show, with hundreds on the waiting list and thousands in our community that just rant and rave about our education, our program. We're the 30th fastest privately held education company in America per Inc. 5000 magazine over the last year. What you're saying to the universe, what you're saying to others, what you're saying to yourself, when you say, I don't know if I want to, spend $7 on me, you're not saying I doubt the education. You're saying I doubt me. I don't know if I'm worthy of that sort of So we have to be careful what we say to the universe, what we say to the world, what we subconsciously are saying with our actions and our words. In some ways, we're sort of telling the universe, don't give me much money because I'm not going to continue to reinvest in myself to be able to be better, to be a good steward of the money, to be able to figure out how to multiply the money. So don't give me more money, because this little bit of money that I have, I'm going to rather go spend it on Starbucks or 7-Eleven Slurpees or, some new drugs or alcohol or whatever it is, rather than spend a few dollars or a few hundred or a few thousand into investing in myself to become a more knowledgeable human being, to become a better entrepreneur, right? Is this making sense to everybody? This is a big deal. Whether you spend money here or whether you spend your money somewhere else, how you spend your money, what you do with your money, where you put your money, how you invest in yourself is a message to the universe, a message to the world, the message to God, however you want to process that you're telling the world, here's the value that I believe I have, right? And I value drugs and alcohol. I value, Slurpees and Sundays and McDonald's and beer and coffee and things like this.
Come on now.
Toys, baseball cards, whatever it is. I value that stuff more than I value becoming a more valuable human being.
I love that.
And I'm telling you, that's why you see so many people say, look, I just hired a coach. I just went to a seminar. I just went through a course. And then you see their life improving almost instantly as people begin to upgrade themselves. Good things come back into their life. Why? Because what we put out into the world is what we get back. Here's the other thing. Entrepreneurship takes risk. And just like the disclaimer that we have down at the bottom of every single page, if you're not willing to take on risk, don't buy our products. Don't be a part of our community, because we are all risk takers.
Right.
We are all risk takers. This is not a college course. This is not public education. This is legendary marketer. Legendary. Not Harvard, not Princeton, not Yale.
Right.
This is legendary marketer, which means that if you want to come in and learn and do what we're doing, you have to be willing to take risk, roll the dice on yourself.
Yes.
And this is
you
not about
invest in yourself, because nobody else is. Nobody else is going to come and say, hey, you know what? I want to give you money so that you can do better in life. Not going to happen. You're going to have to do it. You got to lace up your big boy pants and get your boots on and do something.
This is not about Dave Sharpe. This is not about my credibility. My credibility is, it's almost like a star concreted on Hollywood Boulevard. Not because of what you think of me, because of my opinion of me. Your opinion, just like Deion Sanders said 2 weeks ago, your opinion of me, folks, is not my opinion of me.
Right.
My credibility is solidified in my own head and in my own mind because I have been with me every step of the way. I know the shit that I've pushed through. I know I don't make excuses. I know I'm not a victim.
Right. 100%.
So my credibility is established. I'm still going to be doing this show a year from now. Where will you be? I know where I'll be.
Yes, sir.
Do you know where you'll be? That's the question that you need to ask yourself every day is, where am I going to be? And you mentioned something also earlier in the show that was really powerful, which was, is it going to matter in a year? And this is a powerful question that we can ask ourselves, that I ask myself often when I'm making a decision. Is this going to matter in 5 years? And what is not going to matter in 5 years is if you spent $7 or even a couple of $1,000 on education for yourself. That's not going to matter. Just like you said, it's not, you're not mortgaging your house, or hopefully you're not. Hopefully you're not putting it on, we don't want anybody to go in any financial bind for any reason. And that's all I'll say.
Right.
But here's what might matter in 5 years. Whether you chose not to do that and you're still doing the same thing that you're doing right now, or if you did, on the other side of that coin, if you did choose to do that, that you're in a totally different place. Right.
There you go.
The money that you're holding on to right now, because you're acting like it's the only money that's left in the world, like you're hoarding it with a lack mentality, Janet, does anybody know who Janet Yellen is? Whatever the hell her name is. She's the anybody know? Janet Yellen. She's the Treasury Secretary. She's in control of the money printer at the the Treasury Department.
Sure.
She has the button that says print more money. Let me tell you something, friends. They're printing more money they're printing money while you sleep. Okay?
Right.
That money that you're holding on to because you're like, oh, I don't know if I want to part with money to invest in myself. Listen, my friends. That's all the money you'll ever have then. If your mindset is this is all the money that I'll ever get.
Sure.
And again, I don't care if you buy our products. Most of you, I hope you don't, because maybe you do have a victim mentality. Maybe you do have an attitude of entitlement. Maybe you are looking for a guarantee and you're in the wrong place. You're looking for a job, not a business. Okay.
Right.
Job is where you do the hours and then you're guaranteed to get paid. This is not a job. Okay.
Right.
We are teaching you how to be an entrepreneur. So again, I know I'm being a little carefrontational today. I know I'm being a little bit, I'm pulling out some comments but you know what? I'm fired up. This is just where I'm at today.
Good.
You've brought it out of me, Cory. Damn it. I'm
good. Yeah.
Sometimes if I'm going to be the dean, the dean of an entrepreneur school, I can't go around and coddle you all and say, yes, if you put in the work, there's a guarantee that like this is a job fair or something. This ain't we're not giving out jobs here, people. We don't give a you don't want to know why? And I made this decision. You want to know why we don't give a certificate when you complete a course around here? Because that sets you up for failure. That's what happens in colleges. They give you a certificate and you act, and then you think, oh, wow, I'm going to hang this on my wall. Now I'm entitled to a job, right?
And you get this idea, I've arrived. This is all the education that I'll ever need. I can go out and start making money now. Never stop learning. No, there's no like, here's your paper. You're good. You don't need to do anything else. Keep learning. Yeah. Your mind is literally the most powerful asset that you have. It changes everything in your life. It attracts things into your life. It changes your perspective on the things that happen to you. And likely a lot of the things that happen to you are because of you. And it's because of your mindset and your choices, your decisions create the life that you're living. Yeah. So again, this is not guaranteed. And I want to go back to the guy who was asking about the 850,000 view video. I just filmed videos. The video the day before that got 500 views. The video the day after that got, 600 views, 200 views, 72 views, whatever. I don't know how the algorithm and my audience and what's the perfect time to post the magic super potion. No, but I think it was Robert Kiyosaki. And he said, when you try to avoid failure, you simultaneously avoid all chances at success. You're never going to succeed if you're trying to avoid failing. It's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. I don't know how many episodes you need to listen to, 800 and something, but if you for weeks and weeks and weeks, I've listened. There's a common theme. Every single person, from the very, very bottom guy that just started to Chelsea, who was on here a couple weeks ago, who's absolutely just monstrously blowing up the game. Everybody's saying the same thing. Get started, don't stop. Get started and don't stop. You can't fail if you don't quit. It's as simple as that. You might be only able to post one video a day. You might be super creative and pump out 5 a day. I don't care. Do something. You're never going to get further if you don't start moving towards that goal.
It's sort of like my dad who used to say on construction sites when I would get on, and I was pretty good at laying tile in carpentry. And so don't think that I was just some hack, just some yahoo. After I worked off and on with my dad for many years. And then when I got clean, I worked for about 2.5 years on various remodel jobs. And I was pretty damn good. I mean, come on, think about how hard I've worked at this. I also worked hard at that. It just sucked. I looked into the future in my little Dave Sharpe crystal ball and I said, I ain't going anywhere with this. That's just just the decision I made. I'm thankful that I did. But there would be times where I would go show up to the job even though we had blueprints, okay, even though we had tools and my dad had knowledge, sometimes I would still show up to the job and just kind of aimlessly wander around. And my dad would say, son, do something, even if it's wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Son, do something, even if it's wrong, boy. I say the same thing to my kids. It's like, don't do something, even if it's wrong. You can't just, sit around and sit on your hands and do nothing and then be like, I'm so lost. It's like, well, yeah, do something, even if it's wrong. I can't coach you unless you're doing something. No player in the history of any sport has ever been coached on the bench. You cannot coach a player on the bench. You just can't do it. So for those of you who are like, I need a coach. No, you don't. You need to get up off your ass. You need motivation. I mean, that's a lot of what this show is every day. It's people coming on saying, start and don't stop.
Sure.
All of the how-to is in our education. We don't need to, reiterate that here. And it's all laid out. It's really organized. It's really clear. There's places to get coaching and feedback, all that stuff in the program. Yes, we're just going live here every day saying, get off your ass. Do something, even if it's wrong.
Yes.
Because if you're just saying, I need a coach, or I've been scammed, or whatever it is, like these are all things that we say when I can tell when somebody's saying that they're not doing anything. Because if you're doing something, here's the questions that you would ask. I did this and it didn't work. Can you give me a suggestion on how you might do that differently? I'm thinking about doing it. I'm thinking about doing this. I can either do it this way or that way. Which one do you suggest? Those are the questions that people who are doing something ask. Yes. People who are saying, I got scammed, I'm lost, I feel so overwhelmed and confused. You're not doing anything. We cannot coach you when you're sitting on the bench. Yep. So you have to get off the bench. You have to get off your ass, and you have to pick up the phone and not go get into scoliosis, right? Not get into scoliosis, but film something. Put it on TikTok, put it on Instagram, go live like we're doing right now. I mean, do it within the frameworks and the blueprints that we give you and teach you. Okay. Sure. Don't just randomly throw spaghetti at the wall and hope that it sticks. We're not trying to be influencers here. We want to make money from the actions that we take, but you have to do something, even if it's wrong, as you're first getting started, because if you don't, and then you start saying the old, I'm so lost, I'm so confused, I'm so overwhelmed, blah, 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 blah. We've been doing this for too long, folks. Yep. We've been teaching entrepreneurs around here for too long. We know when we hear that, Shorty ain't doing nothing. Homie ain't doing nothing.
Being bad at something is a lot better than not doing anything. Okay. It's like, at least you've got some forward progression there. And I think the book, if you guys haven't read it, by the way, I'll just throw this out there. Dave's probably heard of it. Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. Yeah, buddy. If you got Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and you've taken the $7 challenge and you're reading that, go ahead and throw on Think and Grow Rich. I think in that book, he talks about Henry Ford. And Henry Ford was saying that successful people make decisions frequently and change their mind infrequently. Mm-hmm. Unsuccessful people make their mind up infrequently and change their mind frequently. Don't get in analysis paralysis. Just move. The journey of 1,000 miles starts with a first step. Cory, I mean, how many different ways can we put it, guys? We just want you to believe in yourself. That's all.
We've said it all this morning. What have you learned about yourself, my brother, through this process that you either forgot about or didn't know was within you?
I would say just the more that you give, the more that you get. I've learned that, just being an entrepreneur in general, learning that your mind, it's everything. What you put in is what you get out. If you want this kind of infectious, positive, charisma type of attitude towards life, you got to put things in your mind that get you excited. Okay. And so I've learned that, with my right mindset, I can overcome any obstacle in the world. You throw anything at me. I don't care.
Even 2 hats.
Yes, I think we've hit like the 10 hat throw. I'm going to join.
Shit,
All right. So what I'm just trying to say here, guys, is if you get your mind right, your life will get right. You win the day, you win the hour, then you win the day. You start stacking days, you win the week. You win the week, you get the month. The month turns to the year. You're winning years, you're winning at life. And a couple years from now, your whole friend zone could be completely different. The way your family views you, completely different. The way your kids view you, completely different. And I'll tell you this, for those of you guys that do have kids, if you do not take a chance on yourself and invest in your dreams and show your kids the way, they're not going to do it in theirs. I'm just saying, because your actions speak louder than your words. If they see you at your laptop, learning, listening, hold on, baby, I'm learning something.
Ooh.
I'm learning how to build a business, baby. Go wait. Next thing you know, hey, mommy or daddy's made an extra $5,000 this month. You want to go to Disney World, sweetheart? It's all because of that thing that I took a chance on. They're going to say, I love digital marketing. This is the coolest thing in the world. I got my mom and dad back. I get cooler toys at Christmas time. I have a better birthday party. We get to go on more vacations.
I love learning.
Because your mom and dad showed you that it's possible, guys. Come on. Be that example for your family. All the people who doubt you, press harder because of that. Mom thinks it's a scam. Dad don't believe you. Cousin thinks you're crazy. Do it anyway. Go for it. And when you're sitting there and you're actually building the life of your dreams, it might take a year, it might take 2, 3, 4 years. Who cares? Let me ask you this, guys. If you had to make videos every single day for the next 5 years so that you could make 20 grand a month, would it be worth it? Like not working at your job anymore, actually renovating that old house you're in, getting the new car, going on vacation, taking some time for yourself, like self-care, going to a spa, getting a massage. You know what I mean? Like, come on, guys. You only get one opportunity. One life, one shot. This is the way that I am every day. I always tell people I'm on the phone with, like, hey, if I'm a little overwhelming, forgive me. I wake up every day and it's like I drink a cup of rocket fuel just to get going. And I'm just fired up about life because, guys, I've proven it to myself. I've proven it to my family. My mom, it blows her mind. Mom, I am making a living moisturizing beards. What even? Is this real? You know what I mean, guys? Like, you can do anything. I started my business with a single bottle of beard oil on a kitchen counter with a condiment bottle and a funnel going into the bottle. I printed labels out of my Dell printer in my little 7x9 office space in my 2-bedroom apartment. I remember it like it was yesterday. You couldn't even get oil on the label or it would get all destroyed and the ink would run off of it. It was terrible. But look at me now, guys. 4 years as my own boss on a live stream with Dave Sharpe, who's been featured in Forbes magazine, inspiring people, hundreds of people right now. Hundreds of people are saying, I love this. This is the best episode ever. So helpful, so valuable. This is amazing. You're going to be a mastermind speaker. I wouldn't be here right now if I didn't start.
Yeah.
Look at this, guys. It's wild. You just never know where you can go.
Yeah.
Just get started. I mean, that's all I can say. I'll say it 100 times. And if anybody needs me, you want to talk to me, you want a little bit of this infectious attitude, follow me. Reach out to me. If you got questions, go for it. I'll be there to help you.
There you have it. My brother, it's been that. Yes, he has set the hat on fire. You actually got some flames coming off of that head, my brother, because that hat is just on fire. There, it's been thrown so many times. Dueling hat throws. We have gone hat. We've gone hat for hat today.
We can make a separate podcast. Throw your hats with Dave and Cory.
We could, man. Let's have you back, brother. It's been a great convo. We've gone an hour and 26 minutes. Holy shish kebab. Diane Sloan says, "Am I watching two Dave Sharps?"
Birds of a feather.
Like it.
Birds of
Yeah,
a
they
feather.
do. Cut from the same cloth, baby. Cut from the same cloth. I mean, and you know what? I was a miserable son of a bitch at one time in life. And it was just because what you said earlier, change what goes in, change what comes out, man. You know, these are the most important holes. I had a big conversation last week on Wake Up Legendary about holes. We had a lot of people, we had to pull their heads out of the gutter when I was talking about holes. But I said, hey, these are the two most important holes on your body. You know, what you feed these things are going to determine what comes out, and also what these hands do. And I know that you know what it's like to struggle and suffer, and what it's like to be a beginning entrepreneur. Also, what it's like to be a factory worker and sort of trade time for money in that miserable way. It's just so glad to see you embracing and thriving in this new way of living, this digital economy, doing it in a hat, a flannel shirt. I mean, come on, man! You're not in a suit and tie. You know, you're sort of like me. You're in Tennessee, got to have a flannel. I'm in Florida, got flip-flops and a tank top, baby.
Guys, I'm wearing sweatpants and boots right now, too. I look like total hillbilly going to Walmart mode right now. I love it, though.
All right, man. We'll talk to you later, okay? It's been wonderful. It's been powerful. It's been legendary, brother. We'll send everybody to your link here. Come back and see me and stay legendary, man.
Absolutely. You too, Dave.
All right, brother. All right, my friends, you can find and follow Cory, the bearded business guy, over on Instagram. You can find him at the bearded business guy. Spelled exactly how it sounds, my friends. Spelled exactly how it sounds. Go over and give him some love. Give him a follow. Show some support. Like, comment on his stuff. That is one of the ways that we support each other. Okay, just like you all are doing in such a powerful, wonderful way. We still got nearly 400 people on this live after an hour and a half. Holy shit. Maybe we need to turn this show into an hour and a half or 2 hour show. I don't know. At least when Cory comes on, we're going long, baby. So better get your popcorn and your coffee, 2-3 cups, because it's going down. We'll have them back again very soon. And again, thank you all for the love. Thanks for the comments. That we read them all. I mean, we read them. Of course, we try to showcase and put them on and respond back. But Michael, thank you so much. Michael again. Michelle, you're so welcome. Wow, 3:30 a.m. in New Zealand. Amazing. Thanks for being on. Major Monday, Whitney. Wonderful. Diane says the Dave and Cory show. Wow, there you got it. Patrice. Elizabeth says, best wake up legendary. Angela, thank you. Kelly says, so dang good. Tess says, thanks. And by the way, friends, Mark, thanks for all your wonderful comments today. It was a real pleasure to have you on. Motivation Fountain. I'm so happy that you logged on as well today, Danielle. Amazing. Thank you. You're amazing. Thank you. Stuart, don't you stop. Keep going. And if you're not following Cory already, Carolyn, then get over there and follow him right now. All right, my friends, go and every time we have a guest on, you should be following them and liking and supporting and commenting and doing all the things to continue to lift each other up. Because as Don says, take care of that 6 inches. When I wrote that, I didn't know which 6 inches you were talking about, but 6 inches of real estate between your ears. That's right. Part of what we do when we put out positive energy to other people is it's nourishment for our brain. It's sort of like a gratitude practice. You know what I mean? By showing gratitude and supporting other people, we are attracting that back into our own life. You will see your life improve when you start to support others, and instead of feeling jealous or instead of feeling mad or sad that other people are succeeding, celebrate them, lift them up, learn from them, go into every situation with that learner's heart. And exactly how you all show up on this Wake Up Legendary show every single morning. We'll be back tomorrow for another episode. Get the hell out of here. Not because I don't love you, just because it's time to go get to work. Get out of here. Be legendary, my friends. Thank you all. We'll see you back here tomorrow for another episode.